Hello and welcome back to our week 3 of the Breath of Life series. This is a journey with breathwork, pranayama, that we are moving through from the week 1 where we've done just being aware of our breathing to last week where we were doing alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. And today we'll move on something really powerful, but perfectly aligned, as you see that I'm in front of the fire today, because today's practice is breath of fire. Before I jump in, I want to welcome any new faces, newcomers joining the series. My name is Eunice. I am a Kundalini yoga teacher. I do sound healing, and this is my offering to the community for reminding us that breath, pranayama work is very accessible to all of us. And like we were saying in the very beginning, in first episode, sometimes we forget to breathe. And sometimes we forget that breath is such an accessible way for us to access that deeper layers of us, to calm our nervous system, to tell our emotions, our nervous system that we are safe and we are present. So this is a very introductory level pranayama practices, so it's very accessible to everyone. I like to give you some explanations in the beginning to tell you why we do these certain practices, what are the special things that we need to pay attention to, as well as the effect that they give us. And then we'll move on to the practice. I will guide you through it. And for the practice, I tend to really make it so accessible that you can do it. You can do it for 3 minutes. You can do it for the full length of them might be 10, 15 minutes, so that you can practice them throughout the week. And if you have any questions, you're most welcome to drop them in the comment and let me know. And this is a series I'm dedicating to a dear friend that was in our London retreat this summer. We shared wonderful moment that was about yoga, meditation, breath works. And I know that, for those of us that was there that shared that circle, something shifted for us. And this dear friend have felt it as well. Unfortunately, passed away in a heart condition just weeks after. And it's been a recovery for all of us in the community, for our friends and families together. And this is a fundraising project. So if you could support us, there is the link for the GoFundMe page in the comments below to support this young family and really to share this breathing circle that remind us of the compassion we have for ourselves, the breath that keeps supporting us, that's accessible to us, and to share this breath and love together. So please, if you would like to share this program of these practices with your friends, please share them and subscribe to the channel so that you receive the future episodes that I'm going to be sharing with you. We are going to have this series until just before Christmas. And for those that would love to support us, with the fundraising, please check the link below in the comment. I'm so appreciative for all the generosity that's been receiving from our side, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. So first, let's answer some of the questions that have been raised. I appreciate so much that you reach out to me and share your comments and feedback. And so from last week, I have some feedback that maybe because of the distance that I was in the video, you can't really see the movement of my hands when we were talking about the alternate nostril breathing. So I want to give you a close-up so that you can see it more properly and continue to practice that, because it's a really wonderful cleansing of the breathing, your sinuses, and also the energy and the clarity from your both hemisphere and that communications between the two. So let me show you the mudra again, which is actually you fold the index and the middle finger so that your thumb is here and the fourth finger and the pinky is on the other side. So what I do is, so I am using this is my right hand, my right thumb is closing the right nostril. So I'm pressing on it, and so here I start with breathing in through my left nostril, and then I will switch. I lift up my right thumb, and the fourth finger, the ring finger, is closing the left nostril. And now I breathe out through the right nostril, and then for 2 counts, and then I breathe in through the right nostril, and now I close and open up the left. This is the process why we have 4 counts in between, because your fingers moving and holding the breath in, and now 2 counts out. And inhale, close, exhale, inhale, close, open, exhale. So I hope that's clearer for you with the finger switching. And also I noticed the comments that there might be some sound shifting. I will try to have this more consistent voice level that you can hear me clearly. Okay, so I welcome so much your comments, your feedback, anything that's not clear, you have questions, I welcome them. And all the more, I love to hear how the practices have been for you. So please remember to share that in the comments, and I can't wait to hear how the practices have been for you. So today we are diving into this breath practice that is very commonly used in Kundalini Yoga, and it's a very powerful cleansing breath actually. So it's called the breath of fire. That's why it's a perfect day, because it's very cold and windy outside. I've got the fire, and we talk about the breath of fire. So I'm here a bit closer so you can see, because in this breath, it's the breathing that is really beyond just the concentration with your nose, because it's actually really bringing you the attention to come to your belly, your navel center. Okay, so in this breath, we use a forceful exhale, and it's short and sharp, together with our core center. So in this exhale, you want to even have more conscious awareness about pulling your belly button towards your spine. And so it's a sharp, quick movement, like you're pumping your belly. So I am contracting my core, so I'm pulling this, emptying this belly and forcing the air out. So that's my exhale. And inhale is kind of more of a relaxation to allow the air to come back in. And so I relax the tummy muscle. Remember that as we relax the belly, we are allowing the diaphragm to drop, and therefore the lung is kind of expanding to allow air to come in as well, right? So it's almost like you squeeze the air out of a balloon or a plastic bottle, and then you release, then air comes back in to fill it up. So that's the same concept. Although we do want to pay attention that we are allowing the breath in, because sometimes with the quick movement, we are just focusing on keep pumping the air out and forget to allow the air to come in. So we want to have that control to allow kind of the equal breath in and out. Okay, so a useful way to practice this breath, if this is new to you, is think of it like a dog panting, like gasping for air. When you can use your mouth first. You open your mouth, stick your tongue out, and go, and you see how that is moving your tummy. Just have that sensation. Maybe you put your hands on your tummy and you see how when you go pushing the air out and you're emptying from the tummy. That's the same kind of mechanism that we're using here. And then once you're used to, you have that sensation, you concentrate in using your nose instead of your mouth. So you close the mouth and do. So that's what we're doing basically. And the breath of fire is literally like, we call it like the bellow breath. You know, the device where you are pumping air to blow into the fireplace. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. So it is actually stoking the fire within you, build up the energy in your navel center. And this is a wonderful practice to do in the morning, especially if you can do it empty stomach, instead of having too much food or drank a lot. That is a lot of stuff sitting on your tummy. It may not be so comfortable. So if you can practice this early in the morning, it really kind of awakens the whole body system and build up that energy in your navel center, waking up the system and allowing energies to circulate in your body. And sometimes we are using this practice to, in a way, having that fire to clean, to clear out what's not serving us. So that concentration about warming up and building up that fire within you. And you will see it that through the practice, you're just going to feel so warm up. So wonderful way to wake up the body in the morning. So I talked about paying attention to the equal breath in and out, that there's air passing through, in and out. another things to remind you is that, ladies, if you're on your menstrual cycle, if you're pregnant, then the breath of fire is not recommended for you. You can do it whenever there are practices that involve breath of fire. You can do long, deep breathing like we were doing in the very first practice. The breath of fire is not recommended when you are on your cycle, you're pregnant, because it's actually using a lot of that energy from your womb. So, or on days when you just don't quite feel the energy for it, don't force it, okay? The long, deep breathing is just as powerful if you just be very conscious with that movement, which is much slower in our long, deep breathing. And talking about the speed of the breath of fire as well, you have to respect your own pace. So it can be kind of a long, slow one, like that, or a faster pace where it is even more activating, like so. You have to adjust it. If you are just starting out and this is your beginning practice of a breath of fire, I recommend that you do it kind of in a pace that you can manage and be conscious about the in and the out. And don't worry about, oh, I have to follow the pace that Eunice is doing. It's not necessary. So you do it where you are comfortable and conscious about the in and the out. Okay, and we are going to combine this breath of fire into 3 practices today. 3 movements, not 3 different. You can choose just like, oh, I'm going to just have 3 minutes. I'm going to do the first one, or have a bit longer time. I'll try the last 2, or do them as a sequence like we're going to do together here, and experience how this breath of fire really builds up the energy within you. So, like we were talking about last time, there are different components when we do pranayama practice. There is our posture. So today we will keep same in easy pose, which means whatever is easy for your body. I'm going to have to move back so you can see the full posture. So your easy pose could be cross-legged, could be just one heel in front of the other. It could also be just straddling the cushion like this, okay? But we want the spine to be tall. Our hip bone and shoulders are well aligned, stacked up above each other. And because especially that you're moving your navel center, you don't want to be slouched back, because that's not very easy to access that at all. And I want to share with you as well that actually someone like me, I don't have a very strong core muscle, and that's always been a problem that is creating a lot of lower back pain. But actually, when you do the breath of fire, it's engaging your core muscles, and it's actually a wonderful way to relieve some of the tensions that you've been carrying on your lower back. And so the more you are engaging using your front core muscle, the more you're helping to release the tension in your back, and you build that balance so that you are strengthening the core instead of using your back muscle. So for the practice today, we are going to first of all, we jump into practice a few breath of fire just to concentrate on that movement so that you're comfortable in it. And then we are actually combining what we were learning last time about alternate nostril breathing. So sometimes we combine the breath of fire with alternate nostril breathing. And there are several ways to do it. Today we are doing first breath of fire through in and out through the left nostril. And then we will do the right nostril. And so when we are doing extended period of time with just one nostril breathing, what we would do is actually just use the thumb and close that nostril, and your other fingers are just pointing up. You don't need to close them, you don't need to do this, because we're just closing the right nostril with the right thumb, and when we switch, we will use the left hand, and the other fingers are just pointing up like little arrows in the air. Okay, so this is the mudra for today, and in between the breath is the wonderful moment of pauses that actually is such an important integral part of pranayama work. So we experienced that a little bit last time when we were doing the hold in between the left and the right nostril, right? And these pauses are the very deliberate moment to be still, to access and allow our nervous system to say, hey, I don't have the breath in, but it's okay. We're training it to be more resilient and be adaptive to life situations when we feel like, when we're in danger, when we tense up, we learn to that, oh, that hold of breath is actually just a still moment. And it passes, and we get air in again. So it is actually a great mechanism to increase our lung capacity and to strengthen our nervous system as well. So, and in pranayama practices, after we do some breath and some movement, and we come back to some still moments, we are simply observing. We get to kind of switch on that more subtle layers of us and be aware and connect with it. Observe your heart rate. How is your breath coming back to its rhythm? Observe your body. Can you sense the more subtle layers of circulations and movements of energy? Be aware of the energies around you. So those are wonderful moments. They are not time and just say, I just got done and now my mind can wander. Those are actually the integral, important part of the practice. Okay, so wonderful. And I'm excited to share this practice with you because we do a lot of breath of fire, and I really love that energizing, warming up sensation in my body when I do this practice, and it really helps me to access that clarity of mind whenever I'm, starting on my morning and activating that core navel center. So let's jump in to our practice. So like I said, let's just do a few rounds of the breath of fire so you start to get used to it, okay? So when you want to start the practice in the easy pose, you can just put your hands on your knees, palms up. You can be in Gya Mudra, that means your thumb and the first fingers touching, and allow the back of your hands on top of your knees. Whatever is comfortable, you can just leave your palm open like that as well. And even if you have kind of a stuffed nose, this would probably help you to clear it as well. So don't worry that actually sometimes our actually nostril breathing is actually constantly switching. There is one side is more dominant, and then in a certain period of time throughout the day, we actually switching left to right. So there might be one nostril more open than the other, and that's okay. So with your tall spine, relaxed shoulder, chest open, but not arching the back. And there's no tension in the back. And remember that not to tilt your head back, to put pressure on the back of your neck. Tuck the chin in a little bit. And you can do this with your eyes closed and just listen and follow me along. When we start the breath of fire practice, it's always helpful to do one round of full breath in and out. One more breath in, and really be conscious about emptying it. So pulling your belly in, and we begin. Again, being conscious of that movement of your belly, as well as the movement of air through your nostrils in and out. Again, your pace may be faster or slower. In the beginning, you might want to pay attention, bring your attention to your belly with that movement together. And as we finish this round, take a big inhale. Hold. And release. How was that for you? Some people in the beginning might feel like, wow, I feel a bit dizzy. I might be feeling a bit like, ooh, there's a lot of almost feeling like, oh, I might feeling a bit out of breath because we're not used to it. So pay attention to make sure that you have air coming in and out. But it is actually, yes, a very dynamic breath that we are practicing. So be gentle with yourself. And if that core muscle is not used to this amount of work, easy on it. If you need to take a pause in between, honor yourself to do it, okay? There is no judgment, there's no competition here. Whenever we're on our mat, we are always just improving ourselves. And I also want to share another part of this practice that could be the next level for you, but it's actually about the bandhas. What we call the bandhas are like muscle. In the yogic tradition, we see that there are bandhas mean seal. So we have three bandhas that we practice. first is actually in the very root of us is the Mula Bandha. So it is about locking that root chakra. So the seal is actually in the perineum. It's actually in the very bottom, that we want to learn to squeeze that muscle. So in the beginning, you might not have the sensitivity to say, where exactly am I squeezing and holding? It is about, in the beginning, you might want to just pay attention. Okay, I'm just squeezing my bum muscle. I'm squeezing where if I want to hold, not go to urinate, this is where you're holding, or your sex organs hold. And as you learn to get more sensitive to that hold, is actually a very deep inner muscle before the sphincter, actually to the core that connects from the perineum to the core in your navel center. So it's actually a deep inner muscle squeeze. And the more you practice and you learn, you will learn to find that sensitivity, that you don't have to squeeze your buttock, you don't have to squeeze your inner thigh. It's an inner muscle that is more delicate inside. But as you learn to practice, there's a lot of times in Kundalini practice that when we do the whole, when we finish a Kriya, we would want to kind of seal that energy in and squeeze Mula Bandha and allow the energy, imagining and visualizing the energy rising up through the central channel that we talked about last time, up to the higher centers of your mind, and you bring your center of attention to your third eye point. So that's the first seal. And if you like to add that in, I will cue it to you. And if you feel comfortable, add that into your practice. If you say, this is too much already with the breath of fire, don't worry about it. We will come back to it again and again. So let's start today. Practice with first our breath of fire through the left nostril. So I'm using my right thumb to close the right nostril, okay? And other hand can be in Gya Mudra or simply palms open up. Again, inhale, fully exhale, emptying, pulling your belly towards your spine. And we begin. You can keep your eyes closed and bring your attention to your third eye, kind of between your eyebrows, like you are looking through your forehead. My lips are closed. The tip of my tongue is on the top of the mouth, on the roofs of the mouth, on the upper palate. Doing wonderful, continuing that pumping of the belly, aligning with your breath in and out. You might feel it in your diaphragm, you might feel it in your core muscles. Notice that when you're doing this breath and movement, you have to Keep your spine straight and tall and give space to the tummy to move. Doing amazingly. Continuing on. Just one more minute. Again, on our left side, left nostril is the lunar channel, clearing us to calming the nervous system and cleansing with a calm emotion and that intuition, sense of fluidity, and activating this intuitive side of us. And now take a deep breath in through the left nostril. You can bring your right hand down, holding the breath in, and if you're comfortable to try, squeeze the perineum. Squeeze and imagine holding the breath in, imagining energies moving from the belly up the spine, up that central channel, reaching to the higher centers of the mind, gazing through the brow to the third eye chakra. And whenever you feel that you need the air again, release, breathing out, relaxing the hold, and just take a moment to observe. Feeling that clearing of that channel on the left, through the left nostril, accessing to the right side of our hemisphere. Clearing this, building up that warmth that you felt, maybe in your tummy, maybe on your back. And now we switch side, putting your left thumb on the left nostril, breathing in, breathing out, emptying from the tummy, pulling the belly towards the spine, and we begin. That movement of the belly involves your core muscles, your diaphragm. Our right nostril again is the solar channel. It's the masculine side, also about action, focus, decisiveness, determination, and action. And so when we are activating this side of us, we are also calling in to have more focus, more clarity of the mind. Wonderful practice to start your morning with, activating and warming up, feeling that heat. wonderful. And continuing with a smile on your face. Less than 1 minute to go. Again, you can do the same practice with just deep, long breathing, alternating with first the left nostril and then the right nostril with long, deep breathing. Now, big deep breath in through the right nostril. You can relax your left hand and squeeze the perineum, squeeze that lower belly, pushing energy up the spine, imagining it just spiraling it up to the higher centers of your mind. Holding that breath in, being absolutely still. And whenever you need, exhale and release. Taking your attention to within your body, sensing your heartbeat, the circulation of energy, and the more subtle layers beyond your body, the energies that are all around you. And wonderful. We're going to do the last part of the practice where we have a mudra that I'm going to show you so you can see it closer. I am closing, the fingertips are touching the pad of the palm, and I'm going to leave the thumb out. Okay, so in here we are actually stretching our arms out 60 degrees, and thumbs is pointing towards each other. And here we're going to do breath of fire. This in Kundalini Yoga is sometimes called the Ego Eradicator. And this is a wonderful, powerful, potent practice that we're going to practice now together for 3 minutes. Okay, so deep breath in, and we begin breath of fire. There's lots of wonderful ways as we are using our breath, combining with different mudras, that you say, oh yes, this is starting to challenge my arms, it's getting tired. Wonderful mental practice as well to build resilience and building strength within. Dig deeper within you to find the strength and the force to just continue. Notice and listen to the inner battle and conversation to say, oh, I don't want to do this. Why are we doing this? This is silly. Listen and just observe and let them pass. At the same time, I do invite you to honor yourself when you need to rest Just bring your hands back, down if you need to, and come right back in when you're ready, okay? So continuing on. I always find that a big smile on my face always helps me to get through these practices that might be challenging, with a sense of gratitude that, oh, I get to do this for me. So, keeping your eyes closed, take a deep breath in and try to get your thumbs to touch above your head without looking up. Sense and feel when they touch. Just stretch your fingers up towards the ceiling, stretching up and release. One more time, just observing, taking a moment here to be absolutely still. Sensing those energies beyond your skin, beyond your body. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So, I hope you've enjoyed this practice, and I can't wait to hear your comments. How has it been for you? What are the challenges? If you have any questions, please do drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't done so already, please do hit the subscribe button. And you can also find a little bell if you're on the app to let it send notification for you. Whenever I'm uploading the new episodes, you will get a notification. And again, please share this episode with someone that you think could benefit from this powerful, potent practice, and let them join this pranayama practice that is going to last another 4 weeks, because it's a 7-week journey that we're going to do these practices together. If you have missed the previous episode, please go back on the playlist. You can find them from the week 1 and week 2. We are going to move to week 4 next week. How exciting. And I can't wait to have this practice with you again. And for those of you who are on this whole journey with us, and if you find this is benefiting you, and you also want to support the good cause of the fundraising, please again find in the comment below the link to the GoFundMe page to support the family of the dear friend. All proceeds on the fundraising page go directly to the family. So we will appreciate so much for you to help us hit our goal. And until next time, namaste.